Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, January 8th. Over the last 30 days, we've seen precipitation across the Great Basin. However, most of this precipitation has been below normal. The only exception is over parts of southern and eastern Utah, where precipitation has been above normal, and also over parts of far southern Idaho into northeast Nevada, and over parts of the higher terrain of Utah that has some areas that have seen near normal precipitation. Over the last 72 hours, we have seen new snowfall over the northern third of the Great Basin, especially over western Wyoming and eastern Idaho, and up into the central Idaho mountains. You can see the snow depth in the image on the right. There is snow in pretty much all of our peaks across the Great Basin. And looking at how this relates to normal, we're seeing generally normal to above normal snowpack over much of Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip, further south into Arizona, and then below normal conditions over Idaho and Wyoming. We currently don't have any drought concerns across the Great Basin, as we've seen cooler temperatures and some precipitation move across the area, with that trend looking to continue. Looking at our satellite image, we do have another storm system moving into the western areas of the Great Basin. This will spread cloud cover and some showers across the northern half of the area today, along with dropping temperatures through the rest of the week and bringing periods of precipitation. Looking at the weather pattern for later this afternoon, you can see again that precipitation generally over the northern half of the Great Basin with breezy winds, so we will see better dispersion across much of Nevada into western Utah. You can see gusty winds up across parts of Idaho into Nevada and Utah as well, with quieter conditions over southern and western areas of the Great Basin. Mixing heights will remain in the moderate to low range. As we move into Thursday, this system quickly moves off to the east. We will see precipitation throughout the day Wednesday night and into Thursday across much of the northern half of the Great Basin, and by late in the day on Thursday into Friday, this precipitation shifts to the eastern half of the region, with generally breezy northwest winds and cooler temperatures left behind over western areas. So we still will have some areas of good dispersion over parts of western Nevada into southwest Idaho, but the rest of the Great Basin will see poor dispersion. Again, winds will be breezy behind this cold front as we see northwest winds gusting around 25 or 30 miles per hour in some areas over Idaho into northern and western Nevada, with lighter winds further east and south. Mixing heights will remain low across much of Idaho, Wyoming, into Utah, and in the moderate range over southern areas. As we move into Friday, another system starts to approach the Pacific Northwest, spreading cloud cover and some showers to the northern portions of the Great Basin, and we will generally have lighter winds or precipitation keeping dispersion poor across most of the region. We will have those breezy north to northwest winds behind the cold front here over the next couple of days that will shift over southern Utah and the Arizona Strip into southern Nevada by Friday, keeping dispersion a little bit higher. Looking at those gusty winds, again, you can see those gusty north winds gusting around 30 or 35 miles per hour in some areas of southern and eastern Utah and the Strip. And also, as that next system approaches, we will see winds pick up late in the day across western Idaho and far northwest Nevada. Mixing heights will remain in the low to moderate range. Looking at the forecast clearing index for Utah, you can see on Wednesday, clearing indices are relatively high as that system moves across today, bringing those slight increase in winds over the western half of the state. And then on Thursday, we see the clearing indices dip a little bit with the exception of the higher elevations, and then increase again on Friday as those post-frontal winds are prevalent across eastern and southern Utah. Forecast amounts of precipitation are indicated here. We will see the heaviest precipitation over the northern half to third of the Great Basin, which is where we'll see above a half inch of precipitation in parts of Wyoming and Idaho, and even into northern Nevada. Otherwise, very spotty precipitation further south. As we move into this weekend, we will have another storm approaching, so we will see kind of the next system exit on Saturday over the eastern and northern areas of the Great Basin, and the next system approaching. So we will see fairly good dispersion in between these systems on Saturday across much of Nevada and Utah. Later in the day on Saturday and through Sunday, we will see clouds and precipitation increase again. We will also see these systems becoming a little bit colder, so we will see snow levels dropping to valley floors, bringing some snow showers as we approach the weekend and through the weekend, especially across the northern half of the Great Basin, but also fairly good dispersion. On Monday, possibly a break in activity, but we still may see some showery conditions at times and some breezy winds keeping good ventilation across the Great Basin with cool temperatures. On Tuesday, again, we will see still cool temperatures as we have an area of low pressure to our north, keeping showers over the eastern half of the region and breezy and drier conditions further south and west, again providing some good dispersion across much of Utah into Nevada and southwest Idaho. Precipitation from Saturday through Monday morning is depicted here. Again, still the northern half of the Great Basin is the biggest target, so southern areas will see very little precipitation here over the next week, but we will see increases to the snowpack and also some lower elevation rain and snow over the northern half of the Great Basin here over the next 5 to 7 days. Looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, taking us from January 15th through the 21st, you can see we are looking at colder conditions across much of the west and northern tier of the U.S., along with wetter conditions across the Great Basin and really much of the country. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Friday for the latest updates.